Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the 7-star Terrifier Hisuian Typhlosion raid is now live, and I'm going to attempt soloing this with Houndoom. Typically when I do these type of raid battles, I like to showcase the entire raid. That way you can see how I went about defeating the raid successfully. And I am going to be running a Ground Tera Houndoom, which is a little spicy due to the fact that this Typhlosion does get access to Focus Blast, but pretty much my advice if you're going to run this Houndoom, turn 1, if the Focus Blast connects, just restart the raid. It's better to save your time because it's more valuable to be able to take a Focus Blast better. Okay, so we do avoid the very first one. Very lucky there. So we're going to stay in and go for more Snarls. We're going to keep snarling until we can Tera into a ground type. And at some point, this Typhlosion is going to remove negative effects of itself. And then at that point, we have to continue lowering its special attack. But it's also valuable to use Mud Slap here to lower the accuracy of Typhlosion, because one of the main ways this Typhlosion is attacking is with Focus Blast, which has pretty bad accuracy. And as you can see already right off the bat, we are dodging these Focus Blasts, so we got pretty fortunate in those scenarios. And we actually have Arboliva here, which having the grassy terrain is pretty clutch. I'm not going to deny that. We got a little lucky with that RNG. Okay, so the Typhlosion removes its negative effects. I'm going to Tera and go for Mud Slap here. That way I can lower its accuracy, and then I'm going to lower its special attack again with Snarl. That way, Mud Slap can help us survive a couple more turns, and we want to find an appropriate place to try to set up nasty plots. But I'm probably gonna, once I throw this Mud Slap, I'm gonna start throwing Snarls again. So Mud Slap has 100% guaranteed to lower accuracy, which is very helpful. So yeah, as you can see, accuracy is down. And now we're going to try to make Focus Blast live up to its name, aka Focus Miss. This is a very spicy build. I'm not going to deny that this is probably more along the spicy side of battling against this Typhlosion. If you can, based on my knowledge of this fight, as long as you can survive this first phase with a decent amount of health, like how I did, then you should be good to kind of continue through the fight with this build. Because once we've Tera, as long as we don't get some crazy RNG with like a special defense drop from Focus Blast or a crit, for the most part we should be able to defeat this raid boss with this strategy. So yeah, as you can see, the accuracy drop was pretty significant. I think it might actually be one of the best things to do once it removes its stat debuffs. And then we can continue to lower its special attack again. And again, we are a little lucky with the Arboliva here to give us some nice healing. Okay, so now that it removed that, we can start setting up nasty plots now that we know that they tried to remove our buffs. So we're going to set up 3 nasty plots here. And I think we could probably just go for Tera Blast for the rest of the fight. We do get burned here, but I don't think it really matters. I mean, it's not gonna... I personally don't think it's gonna make much of a difference if we win this or not. So let's find out how this ends up working for us. Like I said, if you get hit with the Focus Blast and you're down to 25% health at the very beginning of the fight, just restart the fight. You want to try to get the Snarls off, that way you can tank a little bit more moves. I'm actually going to go for a Tera Blast real quick just so I can heal up a bit before I set my last nasty plot. But yeah, you'll save yourself so much more time if you... I think the beginning phase of this fight is the main thing that you have to consider if you're going to run Houndoom. Because otherwise, it seems that once we get to this far in the fight and we can like use Mud Slap and Snarl on the Typhlosion, it becomes a lot easier for us to deal with. We can avoid a lot. See, we're even avoiding the Infernal Parade because of the Mud Slap. So now we're at +6 and we can start just Tera Blasting for the rest of the fight. I think we're making relatively good time for the raid so far. Keep in mind that Focus Blast is pretty much the only reason why Houndoom here can struggle a bit early in the fight. I mean, granted, I don't know. Maybe this Pokemon randomly has Solar Beam at the end game. I actually do not know. But yeah, I would highly recommend that if you get hit with Focus Blast turn 1, restart the fight. Snarl until the Typhlosion removes all negative effects on itself, and then go for Mud Slap, and then continue to nerf the Typhlosion. Because once we Tera, we're not actually worried too much about any of the attacks this Typhlosion has. For the most part, we should be able to live any attack it throws at us. I mean, look at this. We're actually making some really good time now. Okay. But like I said, this is extremely spicy. It's one of the things I like doing here on my channel is showcasing variety and more spicy type of builds. But yeah, I'd say it takes courage to run something like Houndoom when Typhlosion is clearly running Focus Blast. Oh my gosh, wow, that's game. That was really easy, actually. I mean, easy in the sense that it took me a couple resets not to get the RNG. But the thing about this strategy, because Focus Blast, if I'm not mistaken, it has a 70% accuracy. Yeah, that's terrible in Pokemon. You know what, I'm gonna catch Typhlosion in the love ball, because I love me, my little emo boy. And if this video helped you out at all, definitely consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It does help my content reach a wider audience here on YouTube. I'm always making raid guides, well, unique solo raid guides here for the 7-star raids in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And there we go, we caught our Hisuian Typhlosion. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.